Liverpool's Federico Chiesa dilemma. The Reds could be forced to let their summer signing leave through injury after a poor start to his Anfield career. Serious doubts have now been raised over whether the Italy international will be fit to play a significant role in the 2024-25 campaign. Just before Federico Chiesa's plane to Liverpool touched down on Merseyside, he looked out of the window and saw Anfield. The Italian immediately turned to his wife and said, "Put on a song. You'll Never Walk Alone, because I want to imagine myself playing there and hearing the fans chanting." Chiesa got a taste of that sensation just a few weeks later when he came on as a late substitute in a Premier League game against Bournemouth on September 21. 4 days later, he started in front of the Kop for the first time, in a Carabao Cup win over West Ham, and the fans loved what they saw from the hard-working but skillful winger, who was given a standing ovation when he was substituted after just an hour. Chiesa is clearly not in top form, but he certainly looks like an exciting addition to an already impressive frontline, a potential replacement for Mohamed Salah. The problem is that Chiesa has not been seen since. And it's not that he's not fit to force his way into Arne Slot's squad. He's simply not been fit to feature, which has fueled speculation that the summer signing from Juventus could be allowed to leave Liverpool on loan less than 6 months after arriving. Road to recovery. Chiesa's fitness issues of late have been no secret. He has spoken openly about them, admitting that the ACL injury he suffered in January 2022 slowed him down, as even after returning to action 7 months later, his body struggled to recover. Minor muscle problems and even simple fatigue have been recurring issues. However, Chiesa began to look like his old, explosive and effective self last season. He played 37 times in all competitions for Juve in 2023-24, his most appearances since the campaign leading up to Euro 2020, which ended with Italy winning at Wembley and Chiesa being named in the team of the tournament after a series of decisive and dynamic performances in the knockout stages. Chiesa is therefore right to claim that he is almost at the level one was before my injury, after producing a man-of-the-match display against Albania at last summer's European Championship in Germany. A risk worth taking? So why did Juve let him go? Money, after all. The Bianconeri offered Chiesa a contract extension but on terms that were almost identical to his current deal, which was not something the player and his agent were willing to accept. As a result, Juve decided to try to sell the Italy international to the highest bidder, so as not to lose him for nothing when his contract expires in the summer of 2026. Inter, AC Milan and Roma have also been linked with an interest, but no concrete offers have been made. The assumption is that the financial risk is too great for clubs who have recently adopted a far more cautious approach to the transfer market. They clearly do not feel the need to invest huge sums in transfer fees and wages, at least by Serie A standards, on a player with a worrying injury record. Liverpool, however, do. A player who can help the team. For Liverpool, Chiesa is a low-risk acquisition, the kind of opportunistic signing that Richard Hughes spoke about shortly after taking over as the club's new sporting director over the summer. After all, it is rare for a European Championship winner of such undeniable talent to be available for just £10 million, $12.6 million, the same amount the Reds paid for Fabio Borini in 2012. Of course, there are mitigating circumstances and there is also a valid argument that Liverpool do not really need another winger. A left-wing centre-back and a holding midfielder are thought to be the club's transfer priorities. Despite that, Slot seems content. I've said all summer that it's not easy to recruit players for Liverpool because the standard of players we have is so high, but in Federico I believe we've recruited someone who enhances what's already here, the Dutchman told the club's official website. It's not just his physical talent. Federico has the experience of winning trophies, certainly one with his national team, and dealing with setbacks and challenges. That's the mentality we want at Liverpool. Not only that, he's someone who has a work ethic that matches his talent. Said Slot. He's a player who can make an impact and help the team. So it's a credit to Richard Hughes and everyone involved in bringing him to Liverpool. Said Slot. And, in their eyes, it's a calculated gamble with the potential to pay off big. Right now, though, the fear is that it could backfire. I feel sorry for him. As we approach the end of November, Chiesa's form has become something of a conundrum for Liverpool, described by Slot as both simple and difficult at the same time. The bottom line is that he has made just 3 appearances for Liverpool, in which he played just 78 minutes, and figures like that have caused a bit of panic among supporters. However, Slot has tried to allay their concerns by pointing out, time and time again, that Chiesa has not been helped by the fact that he was frozen out by Juventus boss Thiago Motta before leaving Turin, meaning he arrived at Anfield without a proper preseason. The Reds' boss also believes the 27-year-old's bid to return to full fitness has been hampered by going to a league that is probably higher intensity than the Italian league. Slot admitted, "We just played 2 Italian teams, AC Milan and Bologna in the Champions League, so I can say this now." However, all this makes it difficult to step up to the level of intensity that the rest of the team have at the moment, and it's very disappointing for him that he's always in and out of training. "I feel sorry for him," said Slot. Unsurprisingly, Slot's comments have led to talk of Chiesa being allowed to return to Italy during the January transfer window to give him a better chance of returning to football with a view to returning to Merseyside next summer fit and able to compete for a starting place. The usual names mentioned are Inter, Milan and Roma, but again, money makes that approach unlikely unless Liverpool are willing to subsidize a significant portion of his wages. Of course, that's assuming the Reds are genuinely open to letting Chiesa leave mid-season, and Slot says that's not something that has crossed his mind at all. "The most important thing is that he gets fit and then we can see where he is," the former Feyenoord boss told reporters at the end of October. He missed preseason with Liverpool, and in preseason with Juventus, he had low-intensity training sessions because he had to train with 3 or 4 players who were separate from the group. Going from there to a high-intensity league, to a high-intensity style of play in general is difficult for any player, but especially if you have a preseason like this. We knew this before, and we knew we had to be very careful to adapt him to his individual needs. But it's not perfect, so we're trying to find the right way to build him up without overloading him. It's been difficult until now because he's been up and down. Sometimes he's with us, training a few days, then he gets injured again. But I'm very sure that will happen to him, so let's let him recover first," said Slot. A key moment in Chiesa's career. Slot made no secret of the fact that Chiesa's absence for almost 2 months was far from ideal for him and for us, because with Diogo Jota's injury, we only had 4 strikers available, so it could be a good moment for Federico to get more playing time, said Slot. However, now that the final international break of 2024 has passed, the big games will continue to come for Liverpool during an intense festive period that will prove to be the ultimate test of their Premier League title hopes, and Chiesa is finally ready to return to training, meaning he could yet play a small but significant part in their bid to continue their push for a top 4 finish into the new year. Of course, if he is unable to experience the thrill of playing at Anfield again before the winter transfer window opens, questions will only grow over Chiesa's future, especially with Scottish sensation Ben Doak, currently on loan at Middlesbrough, currently looking like a more suitable replacement for Salah next season. Slot is absolutely right when he says that Chiesa's quality has been very clear for a number of years, but his injury problems have also been a cause for concern for some time, and the last few months have illustrated why. He has lost his place in the Italy squad and has barely featured for his new club. In that sense, the next 6 weeks really could rank as the most important of Chiesa's career. Because if he can't play, he can't prove himself, and the very simple solution to that particular conundrum from his perspective is for Liverpool to remove him from the equation. Thanks for watching.